Yeah, that was right away. I thought it was.
I had it. I think what they make me do that.
Okay, well,
I know you and Les. I have. Last week.
Well, I wonder if Les got it. If not, I'll check tomorrow. But I got it. It's got to be stuck in the sandbox. Yeah.
I just say, different kitty litter.
You need to clean the sand.
We had a really good job. 3 or 4 pages that really irritated one of them is they have this password policy. You have to change your password every 90 days. They wanted it to be every 2 days. Jay and I are no, we're not doing that. Jay can't remember his password. I have to write it down every single time.
I was just having more work to it.
Well, that's what she's doing. Add an exclamation mark for me. Flip it around sometimes.
I got steam sheets. Those informal bags to say that goes through, make the same out to reach.
You just remember one. We tried to get this. Okay.
I know my house, you live in my house. You do what I say.
Okay, I have 7 o'clock, so we'll call the Utility Service Board meeting of Monday, July 19th. Word of pledge of allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Before we take roll call, we'll designate that Stacy is U.S. as the Secretary Pro Tem tonight. So, Stacy, roll call when you're ready.
Rick Emmon,
Present.
Mike Kelly,
Present.
Jay Brewer, Mike Greener.
Present.
You threw us a curveball, you know that.
I know.
Present.
As soon as I did that, I'm like, I had Mike in my head and I said Mike Billings with Mike Reader.
All right, we have the minutes of the last meeting, July 6th.
Make a motion, we approve the minutes as presented.
Motion by Mike Reader, second by Kent. Roll call.
Joe Root.
Aye.
See, I know my things about it. Mike Reader,
Aye.
Rick Emmon.
Aye.
Kent Brewer. Mike Kelly.
Aye. No public participation. Did Andrew leave anything with you to talk about? Okay. Any of the other departments, anything that pertains to auditor that you need to know?
I do know he had called me about a couple things involving May, so I know he was trying to get me to that, but I don't know where it's at.
We'll pick it up when he gets back. Then we go to you.
The only thing I have tonight is last Thursday or Friday, Alicia sent me the public notice form, and we were able to get the supplies, get it printed, mailed, stamped, and everything out last Thursday afternoon. So that's it's also been published. So or sent to publication. I don't know. Actually published it, but it's out there. So I'm watching for that. But we should be all set to get that passed by the council on the first meeting in August.
It's,
The water piece.
yeah, they're not doing it this next meeting.
No, because we were concerned we wouldn't be able to get it published in time. So you have to do it 2 times, 1 time with 10 days before, and we didn't know if we'd be able to get that published in there. Yeah, they had it on first reading at their meeting last week.
Well, I'll just talk about it. I was there. There were limited questions by the council. It was Chris was there too. Chris presented and you had papers for it.
Yeah.
And there wasn't any questions really about it. Phil?
Yeah. Well, lots happened in the last 2 weeks. It's electrical. On Wednesday, 7/7/21, a call came in from the industrial department, we started losing factories. We lost 2 transformers out there. We lost what we call the transformers, and so we had to switch load around to get the power back on. To help get the power restored. And then I was on the phone with Spectrum that evening, and they come in the next day and they tested the bus bars, make sure we don't need damage to that. And then that allowed us to tiebreaker, we can actually energize that other bus. So we got transformer feeds this bus, tiebreaker, and the transformer bus. By 11 o'clock, we started getting complaints of low voltage, elements, low voltage, jumping in the residential. So they did all the testing to prove that bus was good. And they did was we post tiebreaker and slide up the stuff. And then on Friday, they come back and they tested the transformer outside. Because what had happened was the transformer into that sub house, the main bus bars, with doors, you know, the speakers. And we were the doors open, and it looked like somebody was going to lock it. It was haywire. So he wanted to test it in that condition because there's no way we could just handle one transformer. So we would lose something going. So he tested it in that condition and it tested good. And then we spent the majority of the day cleaning with pH alcohol. So we got everything all cleaned up and energized the transformer about 7 weekend to prove itself and then started switching it back. So right now, that substation is back to its normal level. Then on the 14th, the patrol man got a call of log factory down again. And ended up being the primary underground cable, the high voltage cable feeds the grid. It was the old original red cable, and they had a hole on it. So due to the age and the price of the lightning, we had comes up there. Just calls that fall. So we was able to isolate that and then pick up that breaker that carried free leg and sent off on the road. We was able to get them restored, and then help Jim's guys. We was able to dig in 500 feet at a 4-inch conduit that day, a long cable. Got cement and clear that wall is full of rebar. And asphalt around the transformer, and then the high back transformer, you're up those stuff. And then got a big, a lot of them across the right. So that had to be hauled out, some of it is, the opportunity is good. Was able to go away. And then today, tomorrow will be complete, but we've got all the underground fiber in from 28 to EMS drivers, got for that. So that's been all the outages and stuff we've had since we went last.
All that one thing. When the first part went off out at the substation, Todd had called me. And I was in town, so I went out there.
Well, we in some serious trouble.
Yeah, we did. They did a tremendous job with it. Once they started switching stuff back on, Phil says, you may want to go on your side of the building in case it blows another door off. And Todd and I are looking at each other trying to figure where to go. The arcs in that thing were, yeah, it was unbelievable. What happened. I mean, this is thick steel latches that goes in there, and it just took it out.
On YouTube, you can see some pretty ton of videos and stuff.
And we have surveillance cameras out there that some of the large neighborhood. And we walked through that. I mean, that the chancellor was here and there was like 6 or 8 feet in. We walked through that every day. I walked around back. I think that, yeah. Then I would like to ask the board for a permission tonight to purchase a digger dairy truck from Altech. You remember a few months ago there was a demonstrator truck sitting out here that demonstrated. When you go to order trucks, years ago you could order a truck and get it in 6 months. When the lead time on trucks now is, we're telling us 18 months to 2 years. This truck, Altech had, we made some changes to it. If we had 4 racks, 2 poles on it. They had 4 racks. They're adding front bumper winch, payout wheel, we used a 4 wire with, and then they're adding split lights to it. So we want to replace a 2001 International digger dairy truck. So that truck's 20 years old, and to refurbish that truck, to get back up to snuff, I'd spend between $15,000 and $20,000. And this line truck, we can get it now, we don't have to wait on lead time, and that gives another updated truck.
So what's the price on
Okay, make sure I see it. The truck that we want to replace has 6,360 hours on it, 32,000 miles. It's not miles we're worried about, it's looking. Last year we had hydraulic problems with it, and it was kind of getting tough on parts that was engaged. So the first bid for the truck, the way it's set, was $274,382. And then with our add-ons, that brought it to $320,293. And we made them offer $300,000.
The old truck would go on excess inventory, surplus inventory.
So they won't take it on trade, but he said he would try to move it to us for line contractors. But he's worried that most line contractors will buy a truck that would, because of the problems that's happening.
Because we don't want it either.
Yeah.
Is this something we'll do that police to buy or just pay for? How would we do that? Links.
What we, Todd and I have talked about, Bill may have.
We put $50,000 down, so we recently borrowed $250,000 at 2.93% interest. A 5-year lease, you pay $54,475.06 a year. 4 years, $67,151.35. 3-year, $88,255.70.
255%.
$88,255.07.
What's in the budget? We had the whole thing in the budget, except for the budget, and this is our capital improvement. Right, and that's part of what we've been working on when we set the budgets up last year.
But you prefer to lease it on this purchase?
Yes, I do, because, we have other trucks over there that we've actually got behind on and other departments also. And, we're looking, cash is the king. So to turn around and, it's another thing that Todd and I are working on is we figured, if we just pay the $50,000, now we carry $250,000 for a year. And right now, that money is drawing us 0.09% through the Farmers Bank. And so we are talking on the money market side of it, and we reached out to Chris Calloway, and we're looking, and we may be able to put some in there that we can get money back, if we need it, where we can get 1.5% or higher. And so my thinking is, is we keep that, and then next, the next truck comes around, if we do the same thing, we end up with 200,000 or 150 a year on the lease. And if we can get 1.5%, and it only costs us 2.9, so it's really costing us 1.5, 1.4 on it. And then by the end of 5 years, we totally own it. This has no buyback. And we're gonna, what we wanted to say, budget at 50,000 the first year. So then you have flexibility to have the cash if something happens, and then looking at putting it in the money markets and everything else.
Like we did the backup.
Yes, backhoes and we got one truck over there, but we didn't have near the cash to cash flow it, so we did that 10 years. I think we put that truck on 10 years. But backhoes, they're off. Yeah. I think we need five backhoes.
And this one here, you're talking
Five.
If I figured right, it's supposed to $22,375.
Better money's freed up though for the next 5 years in case of an emergency. Like you just said, they're straightforward.
But if you turn around and then you add back what we gain, what we gain, or, you know what I'm saying, the 22,000 goes down.
Right.
But again, I'm not really for looking into that the way you have, because I trust you 100%. But you come up with it, I would support that. If you would make the motion, I'll second it, or I'll make the motion, can you second? However you want to do it.
Want to make a motion, Joe?
I'll make the motion.
The motion would be to lease,
It's a recommendation.
the recommended lease for 5 years, right?
You're welcome to come to that, right?
And Joe made the motion in a second. I can't. Stacy, when you're ready.
It'll go through,
Rick Onion?
I was gonna tell them that the lease will be gone through Republic First National, which is the same company. We did backhoes, water, and the backhoe, camera trailer, and stuff out of the sewer.
Is this lease purchase from Alstec? I'm in support of this. I'm going to abstain because of Crystal Bale. So Crystal's my niece. She's the engineering down at Alstec. So just so I don't have any favoritism.
Okay, now we're,
Rick Onion, same with Rita,
I,
Joe Root.
Aye.
Jennifer Murphy, Mike.
motion carries.
Thank you.
Anything else?
That's all I got. I hope it's quiet.
Yeah, we hope so too. I want to thank Jim for helping you, this group.
Seems like I call Jim all the time. I know that when this phone rings and he sees who it is, our customer shaking his head. And we had to use it again today. They're always willing to help. Just wish we were able to pay them back.
you do.
That's well.
When they need something, you always handle it.
Huh?
Said when they need something, you always handle it.
Yeah, I mean, we're always calling and I'd go back in. Works out pretty good. You help.
That's a thing that you guys have developed as a team.
Right.
And you never know, even sometimes you just need the manpower.
We had it going on like a parade. I mean, we had 2 backhoes, skid loader, 2 dump trucks. Our guys were in the dump trucks, and one of our guys was in the skid loader, this guy was in the backhoes. And so it worked out pretty good. I got the power away.
Teamwork.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Shane, you got anything tonight?
Yeah. I got the date for the complete movement migration. I worked with the top 40. The fighting groups, unforeseen problems. Planning to finish the migration. Planning to finish the last of the email migrations on September 14th. Moving to
that involve any contract work and to ACCS or anyone else? Is that or
It does not, basically, we've got part-time IT guy, Todd wanted to utilize his work hours during this time frame. So basically, he's going, instead of working 20 hours a week, on the side.
it's still under the part-time?
Still under the part-time. Basically, both of us, are just working diligently every day to, what we're working to accomplish is, we were able to get 2 migrations apiece done today. So that's what this is based on. So we can get 4 migrations done today. So September 1st will be the last day.
So my second last question. I think your job in particular is always subject to unforeseen problems. That's the nature of the business. So if we get to September 1st and you still have 4 more weeks to work on email migration, that's an unforeseen problem. I'm going to ask a leading question. What I'd like to think is I'd like to see you stay in close contact with Todd. If you start to see any risk or likelihood that you're going to be on September 1 because of unforeseen problems, call in for reinforcements. Get somebody in here. Let's make sure September 1 works.
That's exactly what we're talking about. If there's anything that comes up, so like you said,
Okay. You work for him, not for me, but I don't want to see September 1 move because of unforeseen problems, because your job's full of them. I understand that. So.
So I think probably we'll expect to just get the bi-weekly reports. As what the
And that's
stats.
fine. That's fine too. But in between bi-weekly reports, you running the 2 days, if you can't get nothing done because of whatever, make sure Todd's aware, and let's look for plan B, and let's make September work. That's my thing.
How many, have you reached out? Yes. How many of the fire and police are not using the city?
I've talked to Adam about this. Also talked to Colby. Like with the fire, they may not check on that much, whereas the fire department still sends emails to their people. So if it was a day, they are using it. They just, like for example, people in the office can just use it. They receive training, so they don't necessarily check it every day, but they still use it. And similar with, sorry, that was fine. Similar with, I was talking to Coleman. She said the guys in the squad cars may use the police, but they still use some information to communicate back and forth with the call. They still use it at the level. My understanding is everybody is.
But we're just migrating the utility and city's emails, not their personal stuff.
Oh, no, that's the person. You know, I've seen some forwards in there where, you know, I have been through maybe what they put in, but, you know, for example, if some city emails were going up to you, and across that. Yeah. And then when I sit down with the person who get that set up, prior to this, normally they put me as the email system didn't work on my phone, so they would forward it to Gmail. So that it's the new email system that works with my phone. It's not been part of this. Please, if we here lately, we're using we're using webmail for the system. Still using webmail.
So are they coming out here to get this done, or you have to go in there?
For example, like with, police talking to police, she felt it better, and it's working really good for me anyways, that I work in here, heavy lifting part of the migration. And then when I'm done, I contact Pauline and extend it to her, now I'm ready to come on site, whatever I need to do. Last couple of days, like I said, we're using Webmail. What she asked me to do is write instructions for how somebody would get into Webmail. Access to it now. So, I did that to her, right? She has had me come out Friday, so we get everybody set up. She knows the password I'm using, the default password. It's unlimited. And we get into Webmail. Essentially, she's just been working with me, especially like I said, the last 2 days, and she's just kind of prior to that, the police department, I was looking. I'd say they were using Webmail, or a couple of in the office, getting that set up.
Any other questions? Thanks, Shane.
Thank you.
Chris, you're gonna go first tonight.
County Road 0 wasn't quite finished up last week because of the rain. They're supposed to be chlorinating tomorrow morning, so that being said, Thursday it should be completely 100%. Wallback Street is basically, it is all done, and some paperwork that you guys have to do. It turned into a little bit more troublesome than what we thought. They look at borings and lines in there for services, and we basically had to use the back trailer and kind of trench with the pressure washer and back that out. So there's so many gas lines and old water lines and sewer laterals and everything else in there. We have to do it in between houses, not right off the same block. We're just tight on that. So that's the old two existing one-inch mains that fed those homes have been cut off to. You guys had worked on replacing a few angle valves that were leaking from meter pits. Washington Avenue, water is east of Headland now. They expect to be done by the end of the month. Main services. And just there's some meetings and lessons and that.
On the wallback, is it only the south side of the water's been?
Was,
was-
now I'm talking about Wallback Street, the one block section.
Oh, the one block.
Yeah, they're right. Now Walnut, it's on. On this 16th. It's in the middle.
The same.
It's up today. They're doing some painting inside the interior of the whole part of it. And that's the top side of the sand lens and maybe start painting.
Anything else? PJ?
So with the weather we've got, scheduled to put that to big plan. So we'll start this week. That's the. A couple weeks ago, that we would hit the capacity. We would get that. So it's not catching up. We did get this opportunity to get, most 95% of the furniture put together. Carpet complete. Scrap and So we get rid of some trash. And really, the landscape, Calgary. The big thing to note this week is starting on I-65.
You say start up, you can bring it in on the online and working. Jim?
We had one and Fox contractor for the cemetery. They moved it to the top of the storm sewer. They hooked up, there was two side by side, they hooked up with the county. And 2 weeks later, all backed up. I was up there Thursday. Morning, looking at watching things, sort of helping, tell them which line hooked. Got that taken care of. And during rain, Young and Wabash flooded, Maple flooded. And the next day, we sucked out all the catch basins, Wabash and Young, Maple, and in the storm sewer, Maple, up the lane, down the lane, all the way to the creek. Right down top here, so there's old house. Makes it 90 right here. Water comes in, gets that back of the vehicle. So it makes it 90. I think that's what's holding all water back. And me and Dan Sheets this week down there to see if we can take that 90 out, go straight down to the ditch instead of making it 90. And looking at the city paving list, going over what streets are paving, cleaning, camera, nobody in line, see if there's any problems. Outer Drive, we had 3 sanitary repairs to do with the whole thing. That's one street that we can do that thing. Maple Drive, 656, Maple Drive at the AAA, but it's sort of, they call bottom elbow, broke out, about right at the main or right away. That line is the line that I got called out when William Street lift station. Out of Walker's house, and I bought the paper to make sure those lines were flowing good. And we're line coming from the north that goes north and back east, 25 houses. So from the whole top of the building. And that wind, I walked that, the lights on, they didn't pull on. Should be, and it's pointed right. So I think this lateral that was busted, that one. Wait for the next range. And we cambered that late last year, smoke tested last year, so they something up on that line. And it showed me. I walked it that night at midnight to see if somebody's yard was flooded to the top of the manhole. They didn't have that. And Thursday, we had a manhole in the company came in the line manhole on the first of the day, and 60 foot in their warranty. Just a demo. And he said there was a 8 to 10 gallon a minute leak, 120,000 gallons a year from that leak. So, but yeah, that stuff. So, although that was BJ came down and it was pretty interesting how they did it. So the right of it's about 2 work both sides. It was in the other side of the wall. That's one. Where do you want me to start? Yeah.
Tell you, averaging about 7 million.
Got close to 6 inches of rain, you might even got more than that.
Well, we're still trying to figure out which machine to actually go by. we did order a new one, so you have to be calibrated, but we're probably 75.
When the 30,000 gallons a minute was coming into the plant last Tuesday when I was out there.
I checked with that when it rains, but it's very ditch. There was a couple that scooped off from the overs. But not after, not during training. I checked it, but they had them all. There were like two, I think, that was scooted, but you could not see it.
Then we,
But they're not sealed.
we lined those.
We're going to.
Okay, that's not done yet. Okay.
There's still nothing in the contract on the cleaning crew. The guy in the hospital, that's fine. They take care of it. Matter of fact, I thought we might have moved it over a year and a half for updates. Such a guy hurt, the guy that took it on the reins.
Mike, anything tonight?
Yep, just one item. Week from Wednesday, 28th, there'll be a lady here from IDM who will be doing a inspection of our MS4 program. This is the first on-site inspection that they've ever done. IDM is just now getting up to speed with on-site inspection, so we just happen to be lucky to get selected this summer. So she'll be here for probably half a day, and she'll go over all of our program items and make sure that we're up to speed, which we are. And Amy Harwell from Westler, she'll be here to support us. She does a little network for us, as you know. So just an item of information so that you'll know what's going on. If anybody wants to carry out the plan, just to sit in, you're welcome. 9
9
a.m. on 28th.
Mike, who is our MS4 authorized person, point person in the city? You are?
Yeah.
So is,
I'm the coordinator, yeah.
okay, so on the city side, is there anybody working with you or involved with you? Building services?
Well, they help with some of the, if we have to have a construction site inspected to make sure that the mud protection is up and okay. And all it has to be for greater than 1 acre construction site. But they do that for us.
Do they do there's some kind of communication, education thing that's part of the expectations? Are they involved in that?
Yes, it's at those classes.
Yes.
So they have certified inspectors in the building services department.
Sounds good.
And when I get emails, I send them forward over so they can keep current.
Great. Thank you, sir.
You got anybody else?
Mike, I have something. I have all my paperwork together. I'll be on vacation that day, be out of town.
Okay,
And I talked to Michael. He wanted the last 2 years of everything that we do.
right,
And I have all that in folder. I can bring to you
sure.
this week, and you can have it if they need it. Yeah. He said he did not think the sewer maintenance was going to be the one bothering him, but just in case, I have everything documented that he wants.
No, they'll probably only look at 1 or 2, and that's probably streets and parks, would be my guess. Bigger sites and sites that are more exposed to the public.
Thank you.
You bet.
Rick, you had a couple of things from the news tonight.
Yes, Chairman Mike, I do. Of course, we have a lagoon improvement plan, and obviously, it makes sense to take care of the assets we have out there already and make sure they're in good state of repair. Two of our major assets in the lagoons are the two picnic pergolas with roof structures. Our city parks superintendent is going to donate some additional picnic tables after he refurbishes those at no charge. I have, the past 3 weeks, contacted 3 local painting contractors by phone and offered to meet with them, sent them a request for quotation that I prepared for power washing and painting the 2 picnic pergolas underneath the roof, posts and so forth. Of the 3 people, 3 firms I contacted, I only had one return my call, get back with me. And so I have tonight what I believe to be a quote from that painting contractor, which has not been open. I'm going to open that. I'd like to read the pertinent part of it to the board and see if we want to proceed with this quote at this time. When you look at the picnic pergolas out there, we are right at the verge of waiting too long. If we would wait a couple of years, maybe even less, the underneath side of the roof will probably start delaminating from moisture absorption. You know what stuff does. But I think right now the painter contractor and I agree that we're right at the point to get a good seal coat of paint on it after the power washing will protect it for many, many years. So I have here tonight using a form that I prepared, which our legal funds consultant has on file as a recommended document that you see back when she gets a chance.
I opened it today. I started working on it. I didn't get it done, but I started working on it,
So I have a
on the list.
subcontract agreement and assumption of risk form, which our painting contractor quoter, the person who quoted this, has filled out properly and signed and dated. And then the actual quote itself, job name Frankfurt Lagoon gazebos, address. This is custom painting. Should I mention the company name? Okay. Custom painting, perform a complete gazebo primer and painting of the property named above. Of course, the highest level of quality available in painting interest reading, including the following: power washing, power scraping, hand scraping, and sanding, patching imperfections on the substrate, caulk and putty where necessary, 1 coat of oil-based primer, and that's going to be the Sherwin-Williams highest quality oil-based primer, 2 coats of finish paint on both gazebos. This includes the inside of the roof, all the truss structure, and all the posts down to ground level. And the quote for all that work is $3,850. And I'm going to make a recommendation to the board accept this bid at this time. I know this company and this person personally. They have been with me personally. They have a extremely positive reputation. The work is top notch. So, questions or comments? Need a motion? Need a motion in a second.
But you made the recommendation, and we'll make that the form of the motion.
I'll make a motion to the board to consider and accept this, so we can proceed with pay for out of the utility service.
Okay. Second by Joe. You want to go ahead and tell the name of the company and the person who's been working with them?
Custom Painting by Leo is the name of it. So it's Leo Gonzalez.
Seen a lot of Leo signs around town. Roll call.
Mike Reagan.
Aye.
Joe Rude.
Aye.
Rick Henderson.
Aye.
Kent Brewer.
Aye.
Thank you. The second thing I'll mention in passing for the minutes is that in recently talking to Todd Corey before he went on vacation, I think it'd be prudent at Todd's suggestion to get a quote from Liz Daisy Wall to see what it would take money-wise to bury or push power wire distribution on the site to the gazebo locations. The reason we want to do that is we want to put two weather-tight breaker panels, one in each gazebo, with a couple of quad boxes that are weather-tight. So people have electricity for coffee pots, or cookers, or whatever. I think that'll greatly help the utility in place. Make it more similar to TVA Park. But the question kind of becomes, do we run those lines overhead, power distribution overhead? That involves a fair amount of work, or do we just hire a blue ball to push a line through with this machinery? Going to stuff out in the very option where it is. So I'm going to contact him, at least get a quote for that work, and we can make a decision on which way we're going to go. There's reasons to pick one or the other. Right now, we don't have the side of the cost of pushing the line. So I'll bring that back as soon as I have it, hopefully before next meeting. And that's all I have. I want to thank PJ for his continued help out there. Thank you, PJ.
I have General Manager, he said it, you guys all handled anything he needed in your individual reports, I believe. He didn't leave anything that we haven't talked about, I don't think. We're ready for the claims.
I'll move to accept the claims as presented.
Motion by Ken, and second by Mike Baker. Roll call.
Joe Rude.
Aye.
Rick Henderson.
Aye.
Mike Reagan.
Aye.
Kent Brewer.
Aye. Alicia, anything?
The only thing, that I have is I have still got my list. I have been working on it, haven't quite finished the things. I have a couple of other things that have to get done, but I anticipate by the next meeting, all of the items on my list that I had on my list will be.
Old business.
I've got just kind of a quick financial update. And this is as of July 12th of 2021. What I'm going to give you is what are each of the like water operating at the beginning of the year was 866,000, and right now it's got 1.4 million in water operating. Water depreciation at 131,000 at the beginning of the year. It has 251,000 right now. Water construction at 96,000 at the beginning of the year. It has 597,674 in it right now. Sewage operating at say 1 million in the operating account on January 1. It has 1.2 at this time. Sewage depreciation had 752,000 January 1. It has 774 in it at this time. Sewage construction had 2.2 million on January 1, and it has 2.3 million as of July 12. Electric operating at 1.7 on January 1. It has 4.6 on January 12th. But since then, we paid a $2.1 million input bill So that would come out of it. So we would be 1.7 and call it 2.5. Electric depreciation, we had 1.1 million, January 1, we got 1.15. And that's the count that would be making the lease payments on the truck. And so that's where we're looking at taking part of those amounts out. Electric construction had, say 1 million, and it's at 950,000. So if you go down to the grand total at the beginning of the year, we had 19,718 at the beginning of the year, and right now on July 12th we had 23,628. So
And then minus 2 million off
yeah,
that.
minus 2 million. So call it in a 6-month period, you know, a couple million. So,
There's certainly been some years, some 6-month periods that have not been like that whatsoever.
so
Good news. Help me understand where we are on the electric recapitalization bond.
it started, yes. Okay, it was a 7-year project. At the start of this year here, we had 8.2 million. And we are down to 7.9. But the major expense is going to be the state substation out in industrial park. And
Does Todd owe us an update on in terms of progress on projects? I haven't seen where we are in terms of completion. Sure, we have several things going on right now. We're going to write big things with the new substation out there. Knowing we have money left, I don't know how much worse left. I'm trying to think.
well, we're on schedule, and Phil can answer some of that. I mean, with what was laid out in the bond,
Yes.
we're on schedule with that. Now, we've had some things come in a little cheaper.
Yeah.
That come out of it, but then we've had some things that came in over. The big one's gonna be this substation once it.
And, I do know on the substation, all the materials been out for bid, get bids on it. Now they're getting the chief's contract.
Okay.
Did we finalize the location of that, and get property acquired?
The substation we're talking about is an industrial park.
Right.
The one we across it,
Right.
it's getting a whole major overhaul, just like this one on the other.
So isn't there a new substation in the industrial park? What about that?
That is directly behind Skiles Electric.
Well, we've got ground for it, so I don't know if it's all finalized yet or not.
Okay, so,
That was where we were trying to purchase a piece of land and then that fell through. My
Yes.
understanding is that a new piece has been located and will appears to work out, but it's not been completely, the process has been completely.
okay, but it's near enough to our major feeder line. You know, so we set a new substation there in Skiles. And we'll be able to get.
Because there is a transmission line runs right down, they can extend it down to it, feed the sun itself, and then we can bring circuits out.
Great, great. Super. I appreciate all that report. Yeah, this a lot of info, and it's all good. You better.
Yeah, they had it the other direction.
We had split. We've had bad years, but this is not bad. That's good.
Anything new? Need a motion for adjournment.
So moved.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Yeah.